started, I always like to share a few reminders. This is your practice. I am simply your guide, so please take anything that you need. That might mean taking breaks, making modifications, making something more challenging. You can always put me on pause and come back. Today we'll get started with box breath breathing. For your posture, you want your feet rooted into the mat. Maybe you scooch back on your chair so that you have that foundation. And let your shoulders stack over your hips. And let the crown of your head reach up towards the sky. Think about finding a nice long neck. And then from here, it's up to you. You can soften the gaze or close the eyes. And bring one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly. Box breathing is where we take equal amounts of breath. So what that's going to look like for you is an inhale for the count of 4, a hold for a count of 4, an exhale for a count of 4, and a hold for a count of 4. That should feel pretty comfortable. If you need your breath to be 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 5 seconds, this is something where you can definitely make a modification. Make it so it feels good for you and natural for your own breath. Just know I'll be cueing the 4 seconds. So first we'll exhale everything out of the mouth. Then we seal the lips and inhale through the nose for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop, hold the breath, and we'll count for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now exhale out the nose for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold again. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause and hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. And hold. Inhale. And hold. Exhale. And hold. Take this last round on your own with your own breath. When you're finished, bring both hands to the legs. And just stop and notice what how that breath work makes you feel. And the difference from the beginning of class. So now we'll move on to standing Tadasana. You'll keep your feet rooted into the earth. And you want that same long spine. So imagine that crown of the head really reaching up. You can even see right in my posture how that changes. I get taller. And then bring both of the palms so they're facing forward and extend out through the fingertips. You're engaged here. We're not just sitting. So the quads are engaged, the calves are engaged. Maybe you're engaging the core. And you're breathing. Inhales through the nose, exhales out the nose. Here for a few breaths. And maybe you soften the gaze again, and you take a moment and set an intention for your practice today. Why did you show up? Maybe it was simply to breathe and move and connect in. And so you honor that here now. Inhale through the nose. And exhale, let it out the mouth this time, releasing your intention to the universe. Beautiful. All right, we'll move on. So we'll do a few shoulder shrugs here. So really get the shoulders involved, lowering them as far as you can down and bringing them up, up, up as much as you can. Just a few, and we'll move on to shoulder rolls. So the shoulders now are coming up, back, and down. Up, back, and down. And we'll go the other way. Just reversing that, going back, up, and down. And you can have your hands extended, you can have them in fists, whatever helps you to engage here. Now we'll get into the neck just for a brief moment. We'll take the ear to the right, breathe in, breathe out. We'll take the ear to the left, breathe in, breathe out, and then return yourself back to center. Now we're gonna do a little neck work. A lot of us are on our phones a lot, we're looking at screens or driving, and we get a lot of tension and tightness in the neck. So you're gonna take both your index finger and middle finger, and you're gonna push the chin back. So you're pushing back, and this can feel a little bit uncomfortable because we don't do it often, but you're really reversing that tech neck. So sit here and breathe. I'm always a fan of closing the eyes because it helps me to connect to my breath. That might be true for you, that might not be true for you, but just explore during practice. See what feels right to you. Take one more breath here and release, let that neck go, let it come forward, roll it out. Just give yourself any movement that you might need. All right, moving on. We'll bring both of the hands behind the head. And this is for seated cat-cow today. So if you do not like this variation, remember that you can always have the hands on the knees. All right, we'll inhale, bringing the chest forward, the arms back, the gaze up, arching the spine. Inhale. On your exhale, you round the spine, elbows come in together, gaze goes down to your navel. Inhale, expand and open wide, maybe the gaze goes up. Exhale, round and soften, elbows to touch. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, open, really pushing those elbows as far back as they go. And round. Last one here, take your time. Let this feel good, nice and slow. And exhale. So option to bring the arms down or to keep them up. I'm gonna keep mine up and just know that we're working that muscle, right? Building that isometric, just leaving the arms up, having our body weight do the work. So we're gonna twist to the side. And from here, we're gonna tilt the right elbow up towards the sky, bringing the head forward, and then we're gonna tilt it back. So we're just getting into the side bodies. And I don't want you to be too concerned that your posture looks like mine. I just want you to be twisting to the side with the arms up and getting a little bit of movement there, just for exploration, noticing what is tight, noticing what cracks and what pops. All right, we'll come back to the center and we'll twist to the left. Now the left elbow starts to reach up towards the sky, the right elbow going down. And then we'll switch, the right elbow is going up, the left is going down. You're still twisting to the side. And we're just getting a little bit of movement and mobility in the side bodies and in the spine. All right, come back to center. We'll twist the other way. Right elbow is up, left elbow is down, and then we switch sides. back to the center. Now we go left. Left elbow up, right elbow down. And I want you to be mindful that you won't be twisting as deep as you normally do when we're using the hands and we're using the arms. All right, we'll do one more twist to the right. Right arm goes up, left arm goes down. And then we switch. Back to center. Last one, really feeling this. That's why we're here. Lean into the breath. Come back to center. Arms reach up. Reach, reach, reach. All right. Let it go. Now we'll move on to a quad stretch. So you can stay facing forward. I'm going to turn to the side so that you can see the work that I'm doing. So you want to have that flat back. You want to have both feet planted on the earth, and then you'll start to reach your right toes back. So this might be enough for some of us. We're really working on feeling a stretch in the quad, the top of the leg, and you might feel that here with the toe pointed back. Another option is to start reaching down and to grab that foot in the hand, right? So maybe you're somewhere along the line, maybe you're reaching, maybe you're here, or maybe you have that foot in hand and you're really pulling up in the knee to get that stretch, or actually let's say pushing down. And we'll breathe here, deep inhales, deep exhales. Last breath. And gently release the foot back to the mat. Bring it forward. And just windshield wiper the legs, knocking them side to side. And we'll switch sides. So this time, the right foot stays planted, the left leg goes back. And maybe this is enough, that point, that intention, feeling that stretch in the top of the thigh. Or maybe you start reaching down with the left hand and you grab that foot. And I want you to think about pushing the knee down and just notice what you notice. What are you feeling here? Deep breaths. Waking up the body. Last inhale. And just for good measure, exhale out the mouth, release something, let something go here. Foot comes back to the mat, we'll return to center, and just rock those legs side to side, releasing any tension, any tightness that might have built up from that. We'll return to Tadasana, mountain pose, and we'll flow through some sun A's. Inhale, arms sweep up and out and overhead. Gaze maybe goes up or forward. Exhale, hinge forward, bow forward, hands come down through center. Maybe they're dropping to blocks if you have them. Maybe they're dropping to thighs. Release. Inhale, we find that standing halfway lift. That can be on your shins or on your thighs. But what I want you to focus on is that nice long spine. I'll show you from this side. We don't want to round. We want a flat back. We want the collarbones broad. So we'll inhale, halfway lift. And then we release, we exhale, forward fold. Breathe here. Deep inhale, deep exhale. And we'll do a few more rounds. Coming back up to Tadasana. Inhale, reach overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lift, maybe hands stay on blocks. Exhale, forward fold. Last one. Arms sweep out, up, overhead. Inhale. Exhale, hands through heart center. Start to bow forward. We know we have all these options. Hands come to blocks, the floor, the shins, release. Now inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, hinge forward, let it go. Maybe arms come down. Just dangle here. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And slowly start to roll yourself back to a seat. Shoulders roll down the back. And we'll move on. So we're gonna plant the left leg. We're gonna lift the right leg. This can be intense. Maybe you bring the hands underneath the leg. You flex the foot, engaging the foot. And I want you to start kicking out. So maybe you have the support of the hands, maybe you don't. I really need the support of my hands, I'm shaking. But now I'm gonna bring the foot back. I'm gonna extend it out again. As I extend is when I'm getting shaky, my body's shaking. And I want you to know that that's okay. That is your body building muscle, right? It's good to shake. It's good to go past what you think you can do. Not to injury, but just explore your edge. See what that means for you. Last one. All right, release. Lower down. We'll go forward. Maybe your hands are on blocks. Maybe it's just your shoulders and your head hanging forward. And come back up. We'll go to the other side. We plant the right foot. We lift the left. Hands interlaced underneath the thigh. Foot is flexed. And we'll just let that heat build for a second. So I'm already feeling this in my hip joint. I'm feeling this in my hamstrings, the back of the leg. And I'm actually feeling it in my quad too. So now we're kicking forward, extending as much as possible, and pulling back. I think we did 5 of these on the other side. So just while you're here, really see if you can move with the breath. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Beautiful. Release down and shake it out. Let both legs go. Beautiful work. All right, we'll move on. And we're gonna explore wide-legged forward fold. So we bring both legs out, and I'm gonna move these blocks so you can see me. You want your feet to be rotated out as well. So it might not be as rotated out as mine. You might be here. That's okay. Be in your own body in a place that feels right. Just know we're working on that external rotation. Now, different options. I'm gonna have you extend the right hand out, and maybe you stay here. Maybe you reach up. Maybe you reach for the floor. So all these different levels of where you can be, and all I'm asking you is to feel sensation. Don't go beyond where you need to be. Go where you feel something, and breathe. Deep breath in, deep breath out. I feel this in my left side, I feel this in my right side. We're building muscle. All right, we'll come back up to center. Inhale, arms up, reach up. Think about the chest going up and forward. Back to neutral. We'll go to the other side. Left arm drops. Maybe you stay here. Maybe that right arm starts reaching up. And maybe you start reaching down for that foot. Maybe one day you'll touch it, maybe you never will. That's really not the point. The point is to stay engaged in the side body. So we're feeling a stretch and we're feeling that sensation of that muscle building in the side body. See if you can close the gaze and find the breath. Deep breath in and breath out. Now release back up to center. We'll inhale one more time. Bring both legs back together, maybe toe heeling the feet back to touch. And we'll release back to center. So our peak pose for class today is eagle pose, our Garudasana. What that's gonna look like is inhaling both arms overhead. We'll release down, bring the right arm underneath the left, and you can give yourself a nice little hug. So both of the arms come behind the back. This is one option. Another option is to have the backs of the forearms pushing in towards each other and the backs of the palms pushing in. If you're taking this option, I don't want you to think about pulling down, I want you to think about pushing up, right? So we're really getting into those shoulder blades and both of the elbows are reaching up towards the sky. So you're here or here, and then you'll take the right foot and you can wrap it and tuck it onto the left. This is eagle. Different option, if you'd like to take this further, simply bring the right leg on top of the left and cross over. So now this is also eagle. Lastly, if you want to take another element, you can take the right foot and tuck it behind the left leg. And we're here in eagle, breathing. Pushing up in the elbows, twisting the legs, finding the breath. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Inhale. On the exhale, you unwind the arms and reach up. Unwind the legs, maybe you're using the hands, and come back to center. Now our counter pose is going to be taking the posture the other direction. So we'll inhale, both arms overhead. This time, left arm wraps underneath the right, and you can give yourself a yogi hug, or you bind, and the forearms and the back of the palms are pushing in towards each other. Now for the legs, left leg can cross over right. You can stay here, or you pick that leg up and it crosses all the way over the left. And your legs are crossed. Now you have the option to stay here or wind those toes back behind the foot. Now you're reaching elbows up. You're squeezing legs together. And you're finding the breath. Nice, slow cadence. And we know, right, with yoga, that any amount of the posture is the posture. And so you honor what it is that you need here today. Last breath. Deep inhale. Unwind, exhale. Arms reach up overhead. And you unwind the legs and bring the arms down. Great, almost done. We have one more posture. We're gonna take a happy baby. So I'm gonna show you this from both sides. So first, feet are planted into the mat, and you can go forward thinking about a forward fold. From here though, you're gonna bring your arms underneath the legs, and maybe they go behind the leg and they're holding the ankle. They're holding the foot, and you're in a happy baby. So I'm gonna show you this from the side. You go forward, arms come to the outside of the legs or the inside of the legs, and you grab for the feet. happy baby. You want your feet to be flexed, and you just breathe here. Noticing how the body feels, noticing how the mind feels, and noticing if something's changed since the beginning of class. Even these small shifts are information and help our body know what calms it down, what fires it up. All right, we'll release. Coming back, releasing the arms, coming back up. And letting the feet sink into the mat one last time. Feeling that feeling of groundedness. And bringing both hands to the heart. You can soften the gaze or close the eyes. And we'll sit here. Seated meditation, just for a few breaths. Friends, feel free to stay right here. Keep breathing. I'm going to sign off today. Such a pleasure to guide you. See you soon. If you would like to get updates and be notified about new releases of my videos, hit the subscribe button below. I'd love to see you again.